This YouTube video will demonstrate how to subtract mixed fractions with unlike denominators using area models.
Example, we'll look at how to subtract mixed numbers with unlike denominators using an area model. This standard builds on the work in 4th grade where students subtract fractions with like denominators. In 5th grade, students eventually move to finding a common denominator by finding the product of both denominators. This process should only come after students have used visual models, such as an area model or number lines, to build understanding. The use of these visual fraction models allows students to use reasoning to find a common denominator prior to using the algorithm. So here we're going to look at 3 1/6 minus 1 2/3. So to start, I'll model 3 1/6 by drawing 4 rectangles. Okay. 3 of them I will not divide into 6 since they represent the 3 holes in 3 1/6. The 4th rectangle I will split into 6 equal parts. And I will shade one of these 6 parts to represent the 1/6. So right now I have 3 1/6. And now in order to subtract 1 2/3, I can reason that I'm going to be subtracting 1 whole from this amount, so I could just go ahead and cross off 1 whole. And now I need to deal with subtracting the 2/3. And one way I can do that is to take one of the other rectangles I have and break that into 3 equal parts. And so now I have 1 whole left here. This rectangle is broken into 3 equal parts, and I still have that 6, which we'll come back to. But here I've crossed out 1 whole, and now from this rectangle I can cross out 2/3. And so I can see what I'm left with is 1 whole, 1/3, and 1/6. So in order to determine the total amount that's left, I'm going to need to add up this 1 plus 1/3 plus 1/6. And I noticed that if I look at the rectangle that's representing 1/3, I could subdivide the thirds in half, break them in half, and this rectangle would be modeling 6ths, just like this one was. So if I just show that here, just make it's clear that we had all of this shaded in here. I can see that that 1/3 that was left is equivalent to 2/6. And so now I can see that I have 1 plus 2/6 plus another 6. I can see that what I have left then is 1 3/6. So that would mean that 3 1/6 minus 1 2/3 is equal to 1 3/6.